Oh, I finished up dating a senior.
I said like 4 times.
Yeah, I think mine now.
All right.
Being seen minor?
You gotta take your time and make sure you set these up and just take a look at the information I'm giving you over there to help you out. We talked about this the other day. On Friday. I would certainly just keep the same shaped triangle. Don't be concerned about whether that angle looks like that is a particular size or not, it does not matter. We want to go with this rotation of A in this corner here, B and C. 43 across from A is 10.8 and B is 72. We all concur that this is an angle side situation, which calls for law of sines. Remember, the law of sines is the following. It's not going to be up there, so it is the sine of A over side A, the sine of B over side B, and the sine of C over side C. So this one's pretty easy. We know the sum of the interior of all angles A plus angle B plus angle C has to be 180. So that will definitely come into play in this one, since it is an angle side. So we can fill in angle C at 65, and now use the law of sines to get side B at 15.1 and side C at 14.4. Make sure your calculator's in degree mode when you do those. Does anybody want to work out any more detail on any of the blue findings? Which one look?
Well, I just have a question about the side. So side C is the opposite of side C, correct?
Correct.
Or angle C, and then
Correct.
side. Okay.
Yep. So this would be side B. This is side C, and this would be side A.
Okay.
Just work it out just once.
Yes, I will. Okay, we'll come down here. Let's do the sine of 72 over, we don't know B, is that all right? Is going to be equal to the sine of what we started with, 43 over 10.8. So we had that angle A and side A. So if you have your calculators handy, you want to practice this, I think it would be really good, advantageous for everybody to do that. Make sure in degree mode, sine of 72, hit enter. Times 10.8, is that 10.8? Yeah, hit enter. Divided by sine of 43, hit enter. And you should get 15.1. There you go. Law of sines is the easiest. Remember that. We want to use that. Anything else on one? Anyone? Anything else on one? All right. So cooperate then. I'll just erase you that way. Okay, on to number 2. Am I going to use the same diagram? Yeah, it just keeps it simple and keeps things consistent. A is 82, across from B 7.4, across from C 5.8. Okay, so this is side, angle, side. The only thing I can solve for here is side A. Okay, that's it. This is side little b over here. This is little c. So side A, and this is side angle side, so I'm gonna have to use the law of, look, it tells me right here. Side angle side, I gotta use law of cosine. So I've gotta solve for side A, so I'm gonna use that top guy right there. Okay, remember that is going to be, no, this is wrong, huh? I have angle, okay, this one, I got this one messed up already, how about that? Sorry, everybody. I have a tendency to do that. We have angle A, side B, which is what? 7.4. And we have side C. I guess I had it right, didn't I?
Yeah.
I was looking at this one and looking at that one, so be careful, don't do that what I just did. I was looking at this one and trying to figure things out. I did it wrong. All right, so we're good to go. We're gonna solve for A. I'll come down here and we'll make that A squared is equal to, now we gotta say, 7.4 squared plus 5.8 squared minus 2, make sure you put a bracket there, times 7.4 times 5.8 times the cos of 39.
Okay, please
Can you
unfreeze
square root it?
If I unfreeze the other screen, I'm not gonna have that up there, so that's why I'm gonna leave that there, I'm sorry.
that. Oh, no, it's okay.
That's why, but if you want, that'll all be gone. Yeah.
Don't you square root that?
Yeah.
Alright,
Well, that's A squared is equal to that.
okay.
I'm getting A at 8.7.
39.
Yeah. Huh?
Where'd you get 39 from?
I didn't get 39 anywhere. It's the cosine of 82, sorry. You're right. Cosine of 82. Again, I'm looking at this problem doing that one. Gotta be careful. At least I got the numbers right, 7.4 and 5.8. Questions on 2? The rest of that stuff, let's see if I can put some, what else do we need in there? We have angle C at 41.3, angle B ended up being 56.7. You will use the law of sines to finish that out. Remember how many times we gotta use the law of cosines? Just once. Everybody okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right, number 3 here. Across from A is 6, across from B is 5, across from C is 8. We're gonna have to solve for angle C. This one is, to me, this is side, 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 which is probably the second hardest besides the ambiguous case one, so you're gonna have to solve for the cos of C. Okay, so I'm gonna use that bottom one. So then your calculator is gonna be 8 squared minus 6 squared minus 5 squared all over -2 times 6 times 5. Make sure these things are in brackets. And that would be the cos of angle C. So you're gonna need to use your inverse there. If you're interested in practicing right now, see if you can get angle C. I got it at 92.9, 92.9 if you can get close to that. So 8 squared minus 6 squared minus 5 squared, you get that on top divided by -2 times. Remember that would be, so you need the inverse to get the angle of 92. Law of cosines from there, you're looking at 48.5 here and 38.6 here. Everybody okay? Well, if you haven't done the practice, the last three are all side angle. So the next three are gonna be side angle, the ambiguous case where we have stuff to figure out. So, oh, you gotta find that height most of the time, so let's get started. Still gonna go with our same situation where we have A, and we have B, and we have C across from A, 4.2 across from B, 5.7, and then, of course, angle A is 39. So we're gonna find this height, and that would be the sine of 39 is equal to the height over side B, which is 5.7. So if you do calculate that height, the height of this particular guy ends up being 3.6. So we're gonna run down through the red stuff is the height. 3.6, is it greater than A? It is not. Is the height and A the same? It is not. Is A greater than side B? It is not. So is B greater than A? Is B greater than A? Yes, it is. And is A greater than the height? Yes, it is. So it is the last one, which means there are two triangles. So we're done with this height thing. And we have to finish out this first triangle. We know there's gonna be a second. So let's go ahead and get him started over here too. A, B, and C. We're still 4.2 here. We're still 39 here. And we're still 5.7 here. The key is gonna be finding the new angle B. So we gotta find angle B first here, using the law of sine. So the sine of 39 over 4.2 is equal to the sine of angle B over 5.7. Grab your calculator, those engaging still. Sine of 39, hit enter. Times 5.7, hit enter. Divided by 4.2, hit enter, and then do the inverse of that answer to get angle B. I got it at 58.7. Now at this point, I'm gonna get my other angle B over here. And if I have two, which I do, the other angle is always 180 minus my first B, which was 58.7. So 180 minus 58.7 puts me at this other angle at 121.3. So there's my second B. Does everybody see that? Find the first B, law of sine, second one, 180. Now you can fill out the rest of it, sum of the interior, get your rest of your stuff's pretty easy from there. All those answers are on Canvas. And I'll be posting this video also. So anyways, we'll finish this out. This is 82 and some change here. 82.3, we're getting 6.6 here, 4.2. Biggest angle, biggest side, yeah, smallest angle, smallest side, good to go there. Here, this C ends up being 19.7 or something around there, 19.7. Across from C, this ends up being 2.2. Biggest angle, biggest side, smallest angle, yeah, we got it. So when you figure out there's two, remember that second B, okay? Those are going to be supplemental, does that make sense? They gotta add up to be 180, those two there. All right, down the stretch we go, two more to go. Here we go. Just like we have been, attacking them all the same, A, B, and C, 130 degrees here, across from B, 3.5, across from A is 7. Again, another side angle, ambiguous case. Now, this one's much easier because we have an obtuse. Once we have an obtuse, we know we're only gonna have one or none. And this one ends up being one. Okay? So here you're just gonna solve for angle B, law of sines. That'll be the sine of 130 over 7 is equal to the sine of B over 7. If you want to practice, grab your over 3.5, never mind. Sine of 130, hit enter, times 3.5, hit enter, divided by 7, hit enter, and you would need to do the inverse of that. Inverse sine of that will get us what you're looking for. So that angle down there ends up being around 22.5 for angle B. We end up with this one at 27.5, and this side is 4.2. So largest angle, largest side, smallest angle, smallest side. Bingo. So that one was a little bit different, side angle, because it was an obtuse, so things got going pretty good there on that one. All right. One to go, at least we think so. A, B, and C. 55 here. Across from A is 6. Across from B is 9. Another side angle participant. Let's find this height. That would be the sine of 55. We don't know the height. Over 9. So those of you still playing along, sine of 55. Hit enter, times 9, and we get our height of. That is correct, 7.4. So our height is 7.4. So now let's run through over here. Is the height greater than A? Is 7.4 bigger than 6? Yes, it is. Are we done with looking at that stuff up there? Yes, we are. Guess what? There is not possible. Why? Well, this height is what?
Bigger than 6.
It's bigger than 6. 6 is never going to be able to touch, is it? None. All right, transmitter problem. We got a couple of ships out in the ocean. Here's the transmitter. Here's a ship over here. Here's a submarine over here. It's 142 degrees. We got 52 miles on this side, 128 miles on this side. We're looking to get this distance from ship to ship. So this is side, angle, side. Law of cosines, you can label this angle A if you want, so you're going to solve for side A. You guys have done that one, law of cosines enough. Make sure what? You take the square root at the end. Hello? Make sure you take the square root at the end. This bad guy should be 172. Does anybody want to practice this in their calculator? I can pull it up there. Is everybody okay? I think this last problem is the easiest one of them all. So as long as you know what an isosceles triangle is, there you have it. 48, 48. So this is 10.2. 10.2. Pretty easy to figure out what that top angle is going to be, and it is 84. I'm use the law of sines to get this bottom distance of 13.7. How do you feel about this? Okay? Yeah.
How'd you get 13.7?
How to get 13.7? I did sine of 84 over I don't know, okay, whatever you want to call it, A, is equal to the sine of 48 over 10.2. Cross multiply those using the law of sines. That help? All right. Come on. Guess that's not coming up what I want. It's not coming up. If you want to engage yourself in a couple of problems just to practice, if you could try number one here, that'd be great. Again, A, B, and C. Across from B is 40. Across from A is 18. And this is 82.5. This is a side angle side. So what can we solve for? Side C over here. Grab your calculator, see if you can get side C using law of cosines. Remember, that's what C squared is equal to, so you will need to take the square root of that when you try to calculate it. I have no idea what it is, so when someone comes up and they feel confident about it, let it roll off. I have a feeling it's gonna be greater than 40. Don't know though.
Forty-one point seven.
41.7, anybody else getting close?
Yeah.
Around there. Now, once we get that, of course, we can go, what? Sine of 41.7 over, whoops, that's incorrect. We want the sine of 82.5 over 41.7 is equal to the sine of angle B over side B, which is 40. Remember, you're finding that angle, so inverse sine of 82.5 times 40 divided by 41.7, do the inverse on that, and it's probably gonna be pretty close to 80. Seventy-one. 72 degrees is fine. Again, I'm not gonna wig out over the degrees too much, get close within a degree, you're gonna be fine. Sum of the interior gives me angle A. 180 minus 82.5 minus 72 gives me 26.5. Is that right? 26? What is it?
25.5.
25.
Oh, like putting 71 on it too.
So that's 25.5. All right.
That's it for today.
is a match number for 25. 25 and 45. Gives me 70.
Nice.